Here are your morning news dispatches for March 12th, 1938, brought to you by our Patreon page. If you would like to follow World War II in chronological order in real time through the newspaper and radio, follow us on Patreon. The link is in the comments to this video. And now the news. Vienna, Austria. Reichsfuhrer Hitler tonight took his native Austria by force of arms. Faced with an ultimatum from the German dictator that he get out, and with German troops marching upon his capital from 3 border points, Chancellor Kurt Schuschnigg resigned at 7:45 p.m. He announced that he surrendered to force and ordered the Austrian army not to oppose the German invasion. Berlin. Führer Hitler today appointed Field Marshal Goering acting head of the German government during his absence from Berlin and left by special airplane for Munich. It was indicated he would go to Vienna tonight or Sunday. With him was General Wilhelm Keitel, Chief of the Army High Command. London. With the troops of Reichsfuhrer Adolf Hitler of Germany marching within the borders of neighboring Austria, British ministers tonight were ordered to cancel their weekend arrangements and stand by in London for a cabinet meeting tomorrow. The effect of the German coup in Austria in London was a general slump in prices on the stock market, with Austrian and German bonds and British government stocks leading the decline. Officials of the British Foreign Office worked late tonight, with Viscount Halifax, Foreign Minister, remaining at his desk until 11:30 p.m. and Sir Alexander Cadogan, Permanent Undersecretary, staying even later. Budapest, Hungary. A Nazi movement started in Hungary today. Police and the army were ordered to be ready for duty, and the guard at the Austrian border was strengthened. Rome. The turbulent situation in Austria put the Rome-Berlin Accord under heavy strain tonight as Italy's fascist Grand Council reconvened. An official announcement acknowledged that Rome was in contact with Berlin, keeping close watch on the rapidly changing picture. The Ministry of Popular Culture, however, declared the contact merely was normal diplomatic intercourse. Its spokesman said Italy was exercising every diplomatic reserve. The arrival of German troops in Austria towered over other matters on the Council's agenda. Paris. France, without a government and rebuffed by Italy on a proposal for joint efforts to save Austria's independence, tonight stood helpless as Nazi Germany proceeded to take power in Vienna. Foreign Office officials announced that the French and British ambassadors in Berlin had made a joint protest to the German government over Nazi steps in Austria. At the same time, Premier-designate Leon Blum, confronted with a threat to the peace of Europe, let it be known he was confident of forming a national union government of all parties, from communist to extreme right. Washington, D.C. At the conclusion of his unprecedented hearing into the feud in the Tennessee Valley Authority Directorate, President Roosevelt tonight sent the 3 embattled directors from the White House with a solemn warning to compose their differences or get out. The president, after being defied by the TVA chairman, Dr. Arthur E. Morgan, told him and the other 2 directors that all 3 owed it to their country not to continue to jeopardize the public interest by their personal differences. Those who could not compose their differences amicably should resign. This was the blunt suggestion of the chief executive. He continued the hearing until next Friday morning at 11 o'clock, when all 3 were requested to appear in person or present any statements they might desire to incorporate in the record begun at today's proceedings. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel and ring the bell. If you would like to follow World War II through the news and pop culture in chronological order, don't forget to follow us on Patreon. A link is in the comments to this video. You just heard your morning news dispatches for March 12th, 1938. My name is Henry Chop. Have a swell day.